This is the life you've been given, and that's another life, and you don't get that one.
In a world where reality is too much to bear, what if escape isn't freedom, but a fracture? A severing that offers a new life, but leaves pieces of our old selves behind, haunting us in ways we can't escape. We dream of worlds where we can leave behind our pain, our failures, and start anew. But what happens when those escapes, whether corporate oblivion or fantasy rebirth, demand more than we can give? When the cost of escape is losing touch with who we truly are. Severance promises freedom from life's burdens. Reincarnation offers a chance to rewrite one's story. But as Mark and Rudeus discover, these escapes are illusions, too perfect to be real, too flawed to truly free us. When the lines between escape and reality blur, what remains of the person who tried to run away? Mark's scout is severed, not just from his memories, but from himself. His outie is trapped by grief over Gemma's death, while his innie exists as a blank slate, unaware of the pain that defines his other half. Rudeus Greyrat faces a different kind of fracture. Reincarnated into a magical world, he retains the memories of his past life, a recluse ostracized by society. While this second chance offers hope, it also binds him to the trauma and regrets he tried to leave behind. Both Mark and Rudeus embody fractured selves, one split by corporate design, the other by reincarnation. Their stories challenge us to ask, is it possible to rebuild ourselves without the pieces we've left behind? Escape promises freedom but delivers cages. Lumen's Severance, a gilded cell where pain is outsourced, not erased. Rudeus's New World, a playground where his old fears still pull the strings. Helly's innie would rather die than live the lie, her outie perpetuates it. Rudeus wields spells like armor, yet trauma still disarms him. The system gave him power, but not control. Both discover the cruel joke. The more they deny who they were, the more power those ghosts retain. For Mark and Rudeus, true freedom lies not in escape but in confrontation, in facing the truths they've tried to sever or leave behind. Mark begins to unravel Lumen's lies, realizing that severance is not liberation but oppression. Rudeus faces his failures head-on, during critical moments like his reunion with Paul, learning that redemption isn't found in fantasy, but in accepting who he is. Their journeys remind us that escaping reality doesn't free us. It fractures us further until we have no choice but to confront what we've tried to avoid. Innie Mark represents the parts of outie Mark that were lost: curiosity, selflessness, and the capacity for new connections. These are traits outie Mark buried to cope with loss. When outie Mark dismissively calls Helly Helene, he symbolizes his refusal to acknowledge the parts of himself that exist outside his grief. Innie Mark's correction, it's Helly, isn't just defiance. It's a reclamation of the identity outie Mark discarded. So where does this leave us? If healing demands reclaiming the severed pieces of ourselves, can we truly reconnect them alone? Or do we need others to hold up the mirror?